we pull ourselves through space towards the Galactic Council craft, all of us together. We see the craft approaching in the distance. Let us fly over the top of it, looking down from above, and we swan dive down. We pass through the upper layers into a large open space. We drift down together, down to a pedestrian area. And we touch down, and there's quite a large group of us here, so we're noticed. Let us look around and radiate love to all of the beings who are here. If anybody can see me, can you look and see if any beings are making contact with me?
To the right, up here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That somebody's touching my right head, the right side.
And they're standing right behind you.
Ah, that's awesome. Well, I welcome any contact with these beings at all. They're all friendly, and I thank them very much for being here. Let us all together drift along the path towards the center of this vessel. And we welcome any of these beings to come with us. Thank you. I feel a stronger presence than I usually do. It's like there are beings walking with us along this path. It's more than they know that we're coming. They're looking forward to us coming. It's like we're expected and welcome and anticipated. And we enter a large chamber. Today, we bring love and friendship and excitement for what our future relationships and collaborations will bring. Well, I got very strong feelings throughout that. I felt them arrive when we were in space. Could anybody see any beings around us when we were in space?
Yeah, when we first took off, my three little friends and Palladian, whose name's Sarah, they came up with us.
I had more feeling this time. As we approached, I felt like I saw the being that I mentioned once before, sort of a helmet type, red, imposing, and I thought, well, this is who I'm to be with, my partner.
Before we got to the craft, again, the female purple orb showed up, very, very excited. I could tell she missed me. And John Luke came. He showed up. He sort of like took his forehead to my forehead, like a greeting type of thing. Immediately there was hundreds of beings. There wasn't no 4 or 5. Immediately hundreds of beings with us.
And it was really strange. When we landed on the pedestrian area, it was like everyone turned around and went like, who's that? And then someone said, oh, that's Rupert and his team. And then everyone started waving at us. So that was nice.
Like as soon as we were arriving there, like I just seen like all kinds of beings come around us. And then I also had like really strong emotional feelings with it and the sensation of being touched.
I had an experience, it was kind of similar where everybody was kind of like, oh, yeah, hey, there's Rupert and everybody. There was a small alien that was, I guess, as a child. I don't know if it was hybrid or not, but it was blue. But it it ran up to me and hugged me.
When we landed, I just got this image of you, and there was I didn't see it up above you, but what I saw around, like around your waist, I mean, below your waist, was a group. I don't know if they were children, but they were really small and they were just completely around you.
I felt like I was kind of surrounded at one point,
Yeah.
and I,
Yeah. All the way around your, oh, yeah.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that was really interesting. And by the way, you have a tall, very tall being with you during that whole entire thing, and that was like really weird because it was just weird. I'm not used to this, so this is like crazy to me. Um,
I'm interested to know more about the tall being. When did you notice it was there?
as soon as we got on and we're in like the pedestrian area, and I looked over and there it was, and very, very tall, like maybe even a solid like 6, 7 inches taller than you. And it almost looked like you knew each other. It was kind of weird. When I asked for someone to come to me and just guide me, it was a light being, and it was like a very brilliant, I can't even describe it, white blue-ish color. And when I asked for it to touch my hand, and it did, it was almost electric, but it was also almost like a leathery feeling. It was very, very odd. And that was just, I don't know, I'm like in shock right now because it was just but no, this is different for me. I'm used to dealing with spirits, not
Yeah.
ET. So it's a little different vibe. Um, but yeah, very loving feeling, very good feeling, very I'm here for you feeling. And that was great. So
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you.
I did see a being with you whenever we landed, and that being was very tall, and it did have a very, very bulbous head. Very bulbous. Uh-huh.
thank you. Yes. Yeah, I'm a terrible drawer. I was trying to draw it and I'm like, I can't draw this head.
And
Crazy.
it was really patchy.
Oh, like the skin was patchy or blotchy. You saw that too.
I did. That is totally insane. Tall, skinny, big head.
It was like bulbous on one side back here, and then bulbous kind of on the other.
Yep. That's crazy to me. Oh my gosh.
It's also very interesting that I immediately upon landing there, us all together, at the same time that you saw that being, I felt the being so strongly with me. I felt it strongly enough that I asked, "Hey, does anybody see this?" So this is pretty cool.
He was present with Rupert because something there with Rupert needed that energy. It was part of Rupert's necessity for energy and protection. He was loving and guarding. And there were others with you as well, Rupert. They were standing off to the distance, but they were of light. They were like the light beings touching some of the side of your right side of your forehead. And I couldn't really tell who was around me, but I knew that there were beings around me, and abruptly walked up to me was the crowned being. He grabbed my side, he looked at me, and he went like this. And the next thing I know, I'm being ushered, like pushed into the chambers. And we all are going together, but I'm being escorted into the chambers. And there were Arcturians, Palladians, reptilians, Antians, and the female hybrid that I dreamed was there. That female hybrid that I sent you a picture of. And I started feeling like super emotional and what walked up to me was a mantis being with this super huge head crown that he had.
Mm.
And we held hands like this, and I could feel pronged hand, but it was
Mm.
huge. It overlapped mine
Mm.
like that.
So I connected with the Lyran, always, always. And his name is Jebel, And he's always there. And I also did see that tall being that I never saw before. Never saw. And we went into the big room, the council area. There was a lot of beings there, lots of beings.
I want to follow up a little bit on the tall being that people saw with me. For years, people have been seeing tall beings around me, noticeably taller. I mean, I'm 6'2", so I'm pretty tall already, but people are like, no, these are very, very tall beings. And I don't know if it's the same beings that was seen tonight, but the ones that people have, the way they've described them in the past, the ones that are with me are silver gray, tall silver gray beings. And even though they've been with me a lot, I don't know an awful lot about them. I don't really have a name for them. There was one that I think is probably the same species that was absolutely protecting me one time in a very protective way, and they were hovering above me, like at an angle like this, hovering above me at a meeting, and people saw it and people felt the protective field.
It's interesting that you mentioned that they like guardians almost, because that was the feeling right off the rip that I got. Was it was just there for protection, almost like just a, and that was like that was
Very,
it.
but very wise. And about 7 foot is what I would have gotten. I didn't know how tall you were, but I was thinking about 7 foot tall.
I get the feeling that this was kind of a little bit more important visit. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Anybody else feel that?
I think there's probably lots of humans on the planet trying to do this kind of stuff, but I feel like we're doing pretty well at it. And I feel like we're passing test after test. I mean, not that they're giving us tests, but I feel like we're advancing. We ourselves are advancing. We're making progress in our connections with them. And almost every time we go to them, it feels far more like we're moving up closer to them, and we're being accepted as being more like them. That's what it feels like to me. So yeah, I felt like we've been really welcomed in there. They know us. They know why we're there, what we're doing. They know it's real, and they can probably see future possibilities with us, because we're not going anywhere. We're on solid ground, and they're supporting us in building something important.
I keep hearing it. They're your family. They're the ones that you spoke about before.
Yeah.
That's who they are. They're your family. And I hear it. I'm hearing it and feel it. I feel it. And they're protecting you and helping you with your earth walk. I keep hearing earth walk.
Well, fantastic. Okay. I would like to thank you all so much for being here. I've said it before, but this is amazing what we're doing. This is really, really important stuff. You look in the news at all the crazy stuff that's going on this planet right now. International diplomacy on this planet is not great always, but what we're doing with interstellar diplomacy and interplanetary diplomacy and interspecies diplomacy is really valuable. And it will become more and more and more valuable in the future. So thank you all so much for being here, for being part of this wonderful team.